Okay, now let's get into it. Understanding female pleasure. So I want to go at this from and actually build out a model. Okay? So we are going to build out a model in real time. Um, I did like so much research, and I was like, nah, man, let me not use this research, and let me tap into what I know, because that's why you guys are here. You want to know what I know. If you want to do your own research, feel free to do so. Feel free to do so. Thank you for the ones. So I'm going to come at this from what I do best, or one of the things that I do best, which is sensual massages. Or let me go at it from, yeah, actually, let's just use the sensual massage, right? So, thank you, Carmen. So, we're going to use the model of a sensual massage. So, I'm going to describe a session, how a session would usually go. Actually, let me also share my live. Let me also share the live, guys, because hey, a lot of people need this. A lot of people need this. Add to story. Cool. All right. So, essential massage is basically a massage that relaxes and also, arouses, and with the intention of bringing the woman to multiple orgasms, and which is the climax of the session, and then also guiding her back within her own self. So it's basically bringing her back to earth, right? So how a essential massage would start is, before we even get to the booked out place or the house or wherever, we have a conversation on the phone. The conversation on the phone is mainly just to suss out and also customize, right? I want to understand, why actually do you want to get a sensual massage? What are your expectations for the sensual massage, right? And then also, is there anything that I need not do, right? Because I explain everything. Like I touch everything basically. Nothing is for, like, if everything gets touched. So we build boundaries. We basically, customize it, so that I know, okay, I'm going into the session. In this session, I do not touch this part because maybe she feels some type of way. I want to know your insecurities also, so that I'm also able to adjust for those insecurities, right? So let's say you have insecurities, maybe you feel like your breasts are too small, right? Then I know in that session, I just need to make you feel good about your breasts. I'm not gonna tell you that, but that's what I'm going to do during the session. That way you feel more relaxed when you have to take your bra off, because you'll be showing me everything, right? So that's the first thing. So I need you to mentally prepare yourself, right? And I talk you through the whole thing for this was gonna happen, but not in great detail, but enough for you to actually take that and let your imagination run free, right? Now, I have no issue with a woman building crazy expectations, because I do exceed them in any case. I do exceed the expectations in any case. So I allow her to be able to do that. So what I'm doing is me basically creating the container, right? It's basically creating the container for her. Now, you'll understand why I'm using the word container. But yeah, the whole thing with Mama Panda and all of that stuff, you understand as we get along. So the day of the session starts. So first time having a session, cool. Let's sit down. Let's talk for a bit, right? Let's get a little bit comfortable. Let me drink some water. Let me just, just take off your shoes. How you doing? How's your day been going? Oh, no, 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 no. Usually there's a lot of nerves, right? I'm also nervous. I'm also anxious, because every time I go into a session, like, how can I say this? One of my clients said, because I care, because I care that I care to give a proper experience, I get nervous that I might not perform the way I'm supposed to perform, or I might not be able to deliver the service that I say I deliver, right? So I'm nervous, she's nervous. So we're basically trying to hash this thing out, right? So we both need to get comfortable, because here's another thing. If I don't feel comfortable, if I'm anxious, right? There's a guy that once said this. But emotions are contagious. Emotions, which is energy, right? If you were to meet a group of people and they were all angry, you would also get angry, because that's how emotions are. Then everyone is emotions are contagious. So if I come in and I'm super anxious and I stay anxious, she's also gonna catch on those emotions, right? Which basically it's gonna mess up the whole thing, and you understand why I say it's gonna mess up the whole thing. Cool. So we get to the conversation, we talk. Now this is her to break down, some of these walls, and if she's having a drink, that'll help to ease some of her tension, right? After that, right, when she says I'm ready for the session, then we get into it. We're prepared. She knows she needs to strip down. She needs to be basically in her lingerie. Now, the reason why I always say women wear the best lingerie when I come for the session is because in your best lingerie, the one that you deem the best, you know you look the best in it. I want you to take the time before I even arrive to look at yourself, to adore yourself, adorn yourself, and love yourself. I'm like, oh, shit. And sure enough, on top, when I see you in that, I'm like, oh my God. And if I was on Twitter, son, your ass looks phenomenal from this angle. I'll go behind. If only I was a photographer, we would just do a straight up shoot right now, because I also want to adore, and I also want to get into the energy of basically me having to worship you or praise you, right? Because the session is literally that. It's me giving you my all and you receiving without the pressure of having to reciprocate, right? That's another layer also. That's another layer. I'm putting layers on this, and I want you to stay with me. It's going somewhere, right? Sure. Now, after the whole thing, after now you're ready, you're on the bed. I put the cover on the bed because I always have to put the cover on the bed. If I'm coming to your place, I'm putting the cover on the bed. This cover is a waterproof cover because it's gonna get wet. It's gonna get juicy. It is gonna get messy. So that's another layer of, hey, this thing here is gonna block any water from going through on top. So should you feel like you want to release some liquids, let's believe it is not going to be pee. In fact, please go and take a piss right now and come right back. And should you feel like you want to release, just release. Feel free to do so. You're not going to mess up anything. And I will enjoy it and I will love it. So I would appreciate it if you don't hold back. Thank you very much, right? Now, once we have all of that sorted out, then we get into the massage. As we get into the massage, I already know that, okay, she's dealing with some stress. She needs some attention on the back, the lower back, on the arms, whatever. I already know because we did that with the phone call. So now I'm giving her body attention as we had discussed. And women do keep tabs. Women do be keeping tabs. So when she feels like, oh man, he's working on my calves, because I told him, like, it makes you feel good because it's like, especially like this nigga remembered that, from a call that we had a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a month back, whenever you actually booked. But it's like this nigga actually remembered that I'm having issues with contour and he's actually attending to that. It's like, okay, cool. Then you go ahead, you do the massage. I'm relaxing you, I'm also teasing you and I'm touching you and on. And then when it gets to massaging the hips and the ass, which is where most women hold a lot of their stress. They do hold it in the shoulders. They do hold it in the upper back. They do. But most of your stress and tension, it sits on your ass, it sits on your hips. It also sits on your love handle, right? That's where a lot of your tension sits. This is not from experience. And for some women, it actually sits right above the knees on your thigh, right? So there's like almost like a lot of, it feels like we have like a lot of balls like underneath your thigh, right? Those are knots. Those are knots. I'm still exploring like what type of knots are those, but those are knots, right? So when I get to that, when I get to the part when I'm massaging your hips, I'm massaging your ass, um, then then I get to massaging the thighs, spread your legs a little bit so that I can, apply the oil properly and get to your inner thighs. Then I'll start to tease your coochie, right? I don't go straight, Santa Piz. No, I tease it nicely so that Lena, we've already spoken about this. She's consented, but I still don't have to rush it, right? I still don't have to rush it. Teasing is part of the process. So we tease. And also me teasing is also testing the waters, literally. I want to see, is she wet, right? And most of the time, actually all of the time, Superman's, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. Now I can start teasing it. Now I can start playing around it, but still keeping the focus that I need to complete the massage on the body. I still need to tend to the rest of the body. I'll be back for you, Coochie. I'll be back. One shot. So now I'm building anticipation for yes, one shot. And I might even apply a little bit of pressure by just, hitting it on the right spot. Like there's this pressure. Okay, let me not get into techniques, but there's ways that you can touch the clitoris that will drive it crazy within a matter of seconds, right? But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Now, get into the massage, we get through the massage, turn you over, and by the time I turn you over, or before I even turn you over, I might have you in a doggy position and I might start massaging you from the back, right? Which is phenomenal. It is freaking phenomenal. The responses that I get from women when I do this, freaking phenomenal. We'll talk about the techniques later. Remind me if I forget to touch on it. But it is basically it's an experience for them, and I like, okay, once we give you a couple of orgasms, 2 or 3, 4, 5 orgasms in that position, let's flip you over. But now once I've done that, then it's just literally just touching you, upon caressing you, and then we going back to massaging the coochie, right? And I give it a full yoni massage, and it's just orgasms on orgasms on orgasms, and in between that, touching, teasing different parts of the body. I got toys that I also incorporate to introduce different types of sensations, feels, and different types of orgasms. So, and that's that. And basically, once we're done with that, and she is tapping out, and she's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, let's take a break, or let's just, yeah, we did it." And now this is, I think my baseline now is about 10 orgasms. That's the minimum. That's my baseline. That's 10. Once we hit 10, once we go above 10, then we start having multiple orgasms, which then I cannot count. But if I had to count, if I feel like I'm hitting at least 40, 50, 60 orgasms in a session, if I'm counting the multiple orgasms. I'm sorry. So she's having that, and after the whole experience, now she needs to come back to Earth. Now she needs to come back within her own body, and to facilitate that, I am there. We're gonna chill. We're gonna cuddle. If she's a cuddler, if she's not a cuddler, we can just lay side to side, and we can just chop it up. Let her take in the experience. I'll be quiet. I won't fiddle with my phone. I won't do any of that. Oh, I also forgot to mention, before we start with the massage, we actually do a breathing exercise, which is another layer. We'll come back to that. we do a breathing exercise for the nervous system, right? We'll come back to that. So then we just chop it up. We talk, and we discuss, and this is usually where I see a major change in the woman, right? Because coming in, her tone of voice is a little bit more formal. There's a bit of a bass in her voice. She's a bit rushed when she's speaking, but at the end of the session, she sounds more softer. She sounds way more relaxed. She sounds very cheerful, very elated, right? And I'm noticing all of this, and I'm like, okay, cool. The work is done. The work is done. And then this is now then basically opening up, because we could cuddle for 30 minutes, an hour, depending on how good the conversation is, right? Depending on how good the conversation is. And then I let her know in advance. I don't just say, okay, I'm leaving now. No. I let her know. I check my phone. Okay, cool. I got 5 more minutes left before I have to go, right? And that just already lets her know, okay, sharp. I still got more time, a little more time. Let me just, utilize it. And it's like, okay, cool. What? It allows her to basically not disconnect, but she doesn't I'm not just leaving her cold after that whole incredible experience. I'm leaving with her attached to, okay, man, okay, you gotta go. I know you gotta go. You gotta do your thing. There's more women out there that need your attention or whatever, right? But that's what happens, and that is the end of the session, right? And then later on, I will check on, maybe a day after, 2 days after, I will check on them, or they'll reach out and say, hey, man, I'm so feeling so great. Thank you. What. And there you have it. That is basically a rundown of, decline. That is basically the rundown of the session, right? Now, to understand female pleasure, right? Let's break it down. Let's break the whole thing down in 2 segments. So let's segment this whole thing. And then once we're done segmenting the whole thing, what we're going to do then is we are going to kind of like reverse engineer. So to answer all the questions of why, I think it'll work out. In my mind, I thought, this is going to be the best way to actually bring this forward. So let's get it. All right. Okay. So let me see if I'm correct. We had about 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah. So we're gonna have 4 sections, right? Excuse me. We're going to have 4 sections. Okay. So let's call them phases, right? So the first phase, what should we call it? The first phase, containment, right? Containment. That's the first one, right? The second phase being simulation or stimulation. Stimulation, right? And then the third phase being climax. Because we are exponential. Climax is to the power of x. And then for the final phase, we go back to containment basically. It's another form of containment, but let's call it what did they call it? What did the yogis call it? What did they call it? After having taken plant medicine, there's a word for it. After having taken plant medicine, it's basically a process of you coming back into yourself. I'm trying to remember what do you call it? There we go. Integration. There we go. So these are the 4 phases, right? We have containment, simulation, climax, OS, and then we have integration. Now, let's talk about it. So let's start with containment. So containment, we do this through building familiarity, right? Building familiarity. You see, I'm speed writing this because the spelling might be wrong. I quite old jumpy say it. And then building familiarity. So we'll come back to that. So, and then we have building familiarity, and then we have the nervous system. We have the nervous system switch, right? So you have 2 switches to your nervous system. You have the fight and flight, and then you also have, what do you call this? You also have the rest and digest, and I forget like their scientific names, but it's either you're in fight or flight mode or you are in rest and digest mode. And so the nervous system switch. So the switch is me basically switching you from your fight and flight mode to your rest and digest mode. And this is the mode. Okay, let me not. You see, my mind is going to start trapping now. So this is what happens with containment. So I'm building familiarity, and then I'm also switching your nervous system. Or let's do that. We're switching your nervous system from fight and flight to rest and digest. So that is the containment. And the nervous system switch, it happens with the breathing exercise, it happens with the face-to-face conversation, me also cultivating my own energy. So when I do come into the session, I come into the session already feeling calm, relaxed, and confident. So the more confident and calm, relaxed I am, which is contagious, you catch on to that. It helps to basically meet you halfway, because you also want to be calm, relaxed, for you to be able to enjoy the climax. Look at me connecting that. Yeah, that's a far reach. But in any case, so after that, we have our, let me draw a line here. We have stimulation. And so stimulation through, like I said, stimulation through touch, right? Stimulation through touch, stimulation through conversation, Conversation can be very stimulating for others. I have been turned on a lot of times just through conversation with women, and women also have been turned on a lot of times through conversation with me. So, stimulation through conversation. And then what else do we have? What else we have? Actually, we touching on what we are conversing. We've done the conversation part, but I'm still talking them through it. I'm still talking through the whole experience, asking, "Is this fine? Are you okay? More pressure? Are you Are you still alive? So this never stops. This is continual. We don't have a mute session. And then what else? Yeah, I'm building this out with you guys. What else? Am I forgetting anything? Am I forgetting anything? So stimulation, touch, and conversation, right? Should we leave it at that? That's how we're gonna be stimulating through touch. But let's also include energy, right? Because I do imbue my hands. So every time before I start to your conditioning session or a massage session, I always do this practice of warming up my hands, but it's not warming them up for just them to get heated, but I'm just warming them up and I'm actually opening up my energy pathways. So that way my hands stay charged throughout the whole experience. So if you've women that have had and have experienced my massages will tell you that my hands are extremely warm. But on the day to day, if you were to find me walking the street, my hands are usually very cold, right? But through the massage, I just basically imbue my hands with energy. It's a little bit of Reiki. So I imbue my hands with my energy, and this is just done through intention, and I imbue it with sexual energy, right? Because this is a sensual massage. So energy, stimulation through energy. So my energy speaks to your energy, or my energy body is speaking to your energy body, right? Energy, yeah. And we'll be back. And we will be back on this one. Cool. Then we have climaxes, right? Now, climaxes. Let me see. Climaxes, right? We have breast, right? You can have a breast climax. Let's break down the yoni, right? Vagina, right? You can have full body, right? You can also have it through, of course, last but not least, definitely not least, to the clitoris, right? Yeah, and then let's see. Okay, cool. Integration, right? Integration. This is basically me soothing, right? Or soothing or calming, cause orgasm is a very excited state. So soothing and calming, and then we're doing the cuddling. So this is still touch, right? This is still touch. Let me see. Yeah. So it's soothing. So I'm just repeating myself, right? Cuddling is a form of soothing, giving them space to be expressive is a form of soothing for women. So I've learned. Yeah, right. So So okay, right. So now we're building out the map. If you guys are still with me, just type in a one in the comment section. If you guys are still with me, type in a one in the comment section. Let me know that Jessica. Are you guys still with me? Am I losing you guys somewhere? If I'm losing you, let me know in the comment section. Where did I lose you? Still got some time, so let me double check the phone here. I would have to. Okay, 30 minutes in. Record again. Okay. All right. So this is the map, nah? So this is the map for understanding female pleasure, right? So we have containment, and then containment is basically saying this: what the woman, she is water that is ever flowing, right? And hey, I want this camera. She is water that is ever flowing, and let me see. So, coach, I have a question. Okay, Kitty Pony, let's take a question. Because I didn't know. Go ahead, Kitty Pony. Let's take the question real quick before we continue. I want to make sure that you are not lost. Let me know, Kitty Pony. Type a fast, Kitty Pony. I'm just playing. What's up, Kitty Pony? What's the question? Oh, yeah. Okay, Kiribon is still typing the question. So meanwhile, Kiribon is typing her question. Let's address containment. Né? So containment. Woman is water that is forever flowing. By containment, basically, for this experience to be a great one, I need to create a container that she is comfortable. Yo, this one is when that she is comfortable feeling. Do you understand this? We create a containment that she is comfortable feeling or putting herself within. This is what containment is, right? So, unlike us men, the thing that make one of the many things that make women different from men is our perception of danger, right? Mom, can you please follow me? So it's the perception of danger, right? So we as men, let me actually do this. So for any men who understand, I want men to understand this more than anything else. Nah. The last time I felt like my life was in danger was, yeah. See, I have to think about it. The last time I felt like my life was in danger and I cared was a very long time ago. I can't even remember what it is. You see, this is now us men, and this is us men. Now, women who are watching, right? I want you to answer this, and when was the last time you felt like your life was in danger? Honest, just give me an honest answer. When was the last time that you felt like your life was in danger? Was it today, a week ago, a month ago, a year ago? I want men to be able to see this and really understand this. So in the comment section, when was the last time you felt like your life was in danger? To all the women in the, just put in the comment section. I want the men to see something. Nobody's answering. Nobody's answering. When was the last time you felt like your life was in danger, ladies? In 2024. Okay? In 2024. Kiriboni, I'm still waiting for your question. Hey, Kiriboni. Still waiting for your question. Yesterday, I went to the CPD. Alright? Okay. Okay, so we'll just run with what we have right now. So we have yesterday, and then we have Kiriboni. We have Joy saying yesterday because she was at the CBD, and Kiriboni saying 2024. Right, Kiriboni, you are very cushioned. You are very cushioned. I'm guessing. I'm assuming. But that's what happens. Joy, man, joy. If you were there with, let's say, why is this puzzle thing? So this is for choice, right? So choice, if you went to the CBD, let's say with your partner or your brother, someone, or let's say you went to the CBD with someone who you trust, who is strong, and who you feel comfortable around, right? Would you still feel the same way had you been there with them? Let me see. So we have Honor LTD says, when I was 24 years old, since my father died at that age. You see, so Joy says no, right? She wouldn't have felt that way, right? So at that moment, so even with Honor, right? Because one of her containers or providers of containment, being a father, this is what fathers do. They protect, they create containment. You are their little princess, right? And for us men, it's different. For us, it's like, yeah, I got this. But for women, like, containment is so important. Containment is so important for you guys. So what really is containment, right? Containment is basically making the woman feel confident and comfortable, right? So you as a man, your job is to make her feel confident and comfortable in having to come to your place and having to engage with you, right? This might be you making the right plans, you double checking if she has any type of allergies. If you guys, will be going raw, ensuring that you get the test, I don't know about the prep and all of that, but making sure that you get tested and all of that stuff. Through conversation, being able to just flirt with her, create sexual tension, which basically gives her the confidence. So you being confident gives her the confidence also to flirt back. If she really likes you, to really flirt back, right? And creating that sexual tension is very important. But you cannot have the sexual, tension without, outside of containment. If you want to have like really, really, really good sex. So containment. And under containment, we have built-in familiarity, right? So that's what I just discussed. And then nervous system switch, right? So like we said, it's easy for a woman to feel like like she's in danger or her life is in danger. Guys, link up with me. Oh, Fred, you must book a Fred. You must book in none for free besides these lives, nigga. Otherwise, go watch the free YouTube videos. But yeah, like I was saying, you create containment, and then you also want to switch her nervous system, which is basically moving her from a fight and flight mode to a rest and digest. In the rest and digest is the only way that I have known for women to be able to reach multiple climaxes. And that is the only way that a woman can reach multiple climaxes, if she feels safe, if she feels contained, if she feels confident in you and in herself, above everything, in herself, right? So containment is very important. Now, things that you can do. My details should be on the bio. My details should be on the bio. Yeah, my details are on the bio. So do the right thing, Mr. Orlando. Orlando Marcus, you can make me climax if you keep whispering like that. I don't know, man. Me, I'm for the ladies, but hey. In any case, like I was saying, yes. So, ladies, where are we? We are still in containment, right? So before I even move away from containment, let's talk about things that you can do. Building familiarity, basically having proper game, being able to what you call this, seduce the woman, building that tension. Now we've moved from that, we're in the bedroom, right? Things that you can do is regulating the breath, right? What I love to do with my partner is I love to hold her, right? I'll probably make a video showing like these breathing techniques and positions, but I'll hold her in certain positions and I'll prompt her to breathe in, breathe out, much how I was basically guiding you guys through the breathing exercise earlier on. I'm basically prompting her, I'm talking her through it, right? The more she tunes into my voice, the more she tunes into the voice, into the commands, is the more she is basically surrendering to me, right? And that also translates into her being more comfortable with me, her being more open with me. Because if she's not open, if she's not relaxed, she's clenched up, what's that going to do, right? Clenching is basically like stopping, like isn't it on top, you're holding on, energy is not going to be able to move on top. She opening up her legs fully is not going to be able to be possible on top. Her coochie won't be receptive to your penis, right? So yeah. Yeah. So also, man, for the just before I continue, to the LGBT, I don't know the full acronym, but to you, chance, the gay guys, right? You guys have fought a good fight for you guys to have the rights and all of these benefits that you have, right? And it's one of the things that you guys have always wanted is respect, right? And what I can ask is, show me respect also, right? I can't keep repeating myself. This is about female pleasure, right? Women that have vaginas, that were born biological, females. This is about them. This is about them. It's not about men who identify as women or men who are gay. I don't know. I don't follow the rhetoric, but please keep it respectful. I appreciate that. Thank you. Now, ladies, back to you. Okay, so we've dealt with the nervous system switch. Now let's talk about stimulation, right? Now, stimulation, this is where it gets interesting. Let me pull out my bag. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me put out my big black bag. My triple B. Big black bag. Yeah. All right. Okay, so with this one, I don't know if you guys will be able to see, right? But let me first start with showing a couple of things, right? Let me start by showing a couple of things. Let me get this first and foremost. We'll come back. Excuse me. Okay, cool. Now, stimulation. Yeah. Gents, ladies also. Stimulating the female. It's kind of weird. During stimulation, when I get aroused, what's gonna happen? Let me see. During stimulation, when I get aroused, but that's where I'm breaking down stimulation. I get a pella, and I'm guessing I could be wrong. You talking on if you were to book a massage, and during me massaging you, you get aroused, which is part of the massage. You're supposed to get aroused. That's just part of the massage. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a sensual massage. It wouldn't be a sensual massage. And then there's an aspect of what? Climax. Multiple climaxes. So I bring you to multiple climaxes using my hands, using toys, right? So you do get to climax. And this is also very important to also understand when I'm gonna start talking about stimulation, right? Is that we have put so much focus on the penis and the vagina being the only things that facilitate a good time, right? Whereas the clitoris is the one and only organ that was created for pleasure, and pleasure only. Now, we as men also have the penis, our penis, for incredible pleasure, but without control over how and when you ejaculate, it can be detrimental to you. But for women, you guys could literally DJ every single day, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in a day, and it will not affect you negatively in any type of way. You feel me? And if you're doing it like naturally with hands, but if you overdo it with toys, you might get desensitized a little bit, but it just takes like maybe a week or so for your nervous system to get back into the normal baseline to recalibrate, right? So Giliboni, I hope I answered your question. Kikrohotis. Yeah, kikrohotis when you also to help skawah. A lot of times. In any case, let's keep it moving, right? So touch, so let's go. Yeah. Cool. So msadi, ne? So we've spoken about the building familiarity and common or switching the nervous system, and which is also another form of stimulation. So we have touch, we have conversation, we have energy, and so with touch, with energy, let's combine all of that because time is ticking, right? Um, she has a whole entire body, not just the vagina, not just the clitoris. She has a whole entire body. She has what you would call erogenous zones, right? It's different. There are different sensitivities for different women. However, the fundamentals are still the same. The fundamentals are still the same. So you need to take it upon yourself to become an explorer of this woman, exploring all of her erogenous zones. Kiss, kiss, lick, bite, mouthwork for the erogenous zones, right? Could be underneath her knee, it could be on her neck, could be underneath her ear, it could be in her ear, it could be on her breast, could be in her nipple, in her nipple. Kwasike ngisibhona bafethu. Ike ngisibhona kaziho. Mina isibhona ngesilungu bafethu. But it could be isibhono sakhe. It could be on her back, on her ass, underneath her feet, her toes. It could be all of the above. Could be all of the above. It could be you just talking to her nicely. Belly button, thank you. It could be all of the above, right? Explore that body, boy. Explore that body. Believe me, when you do the exploring of the body, if she has a little icks, right? Going back to the whole thing of building familiarity, if she has a little ick about her tits, boy oh boy, show her how much you enjoy and you love those tits. That's right. This goes combining the touch with the energy. You have to bring that dog energy on top. You have to bring that energy when you're eating something in any place and the food is delicious. We do the oh man, on top. We respond, right? We respond in energy and kind. And so when you are biting her, when you are licking her, you are kissing her, I need you to bring that type of energy, not in pretense, but really come alive as a man. Come alive, like you got a whole female body, my nigga. On top, the Bible says this was created from a rib pulled through a Clemson and Santa. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. No, in any type of way, I do not believe that. I believe yazini lento lena yakhandwa onto the eons and eons and eons and eons and eons. This took lifetimes to. This women was like God's but if there is such that would be his life's work. In essence, it's like the whole embodiment of life. On toilet. But in any case, enjoy. When you suck in the tits, make those noises on toilet. When you're eating her coochie out, it tastes good. Let her know on toilet. You see? So you have to embody. You have to come with the energy. You have to come with the touch. You have to come with the not just, the talking. Don't be mute. Don't be mute, right? And you have to come with intention, right? So that is stimulation. That is stimulation. So like I said, kiss, lick, kiss. Kiss, lick. Kiss, lick, bite. Yes. Kiss, lick, and bite of different parts of the body, right? Now, I'm not going to talk about how to eat her out. I have tutorials for that. You can go and find that on my Patreon. I got 2 tutorials teaching you men how to eat her out. I got little snippets on my X account on how to eat her out. So go ahead and knock yourself out. But if I am going to say a little some about it, is that it's it's not something that you want to rush into. You want to explore her whole body before you go there, right? Because what most men do is you rush to go inside, which brings me to this thing that I've been thinking, and I wanted to create a video on this, but let me say it now, and I think it's important for women to be able to do this as part of you taking your power. Ladies, now we are creating a standard. There needs to be a standard before a man can slide in between those beautiful, juicy, voluptuous, warm-ass lips of yours down below. Before a man can slide in, baby, he needs to pay the toll gate. What does he need to pay? I want you to put down in the comment section. This is now going to be a form of declaration. Your form of declaration as a woman, right? What is the fee that he needs to pay in orgasms? How many orgasms must this man give you before he comes and penetrates you? How many orgasms? Put it in the comment section. How many orgasms must this man pay before he penetrates, before he goes through the gates of heaven, and then he dies in there? How many orgasms must this man pay before you allow him to slide in? This is a declaration. This is for real a declaration, ladies. Like, I need you guys to start taking yourself seriously. Like I could be doing all this work, teaching all these men, but they will become complacent. They will become lazy. I'm talking to the extent that you allow. So, ladies, put down in your comment section. Just put down a number. How many orgasms are you requiring before you're gonna let a man slide in? Put it down in the comment section. Put it down in the comment section. I want to see those. I want to see those numbers, ladies. I want to see those numbers. How many orgasms, ladies, are you gonna require for a man just before he slides in? Put it down in the comments. I wanna know. Think about it. Let me drink some water while you think about it. Let me drink some water. Hey, the ladies are not responding. Okay. So you guys are okay with mediocre fluff. Okay. So let's talk about climaxes then, right? Let's move over to climaxes. So climaxes, women can experience climaxes through many different, how can I say this? In many different ways. Women can experience climax in many different ways. Now, let's call an orgasm what it really is, which is a movement of energy, right? It is a movement of energy through stimulation, right? You have to remember that one of the biggest components for orgasms is the clitoris, right? If not the one, right? And the clitoris has over 3 to 6,000 nerve fibers, right? Which kind of lets you know. So when we're talking about nerves, we are talking about what? We are talking about chemical. What do you call this? Yeah, we're talking about hormones. We're talking about electricity. That's how messages are transmitted through the nervous system, through chemicals and electricity, right? Bioelectricity. I think that's the right word for it. So orgasms, in their true selves, nothing more than the movement of energy. Whew. I guess with this one, I think we need to break this down a little bit more. So we have chakras. Oh, I'm a shark. We have chakras. We have the crown chakra, the third eye chakra, or the pineal gland. We have the thyroid, which is your, what you call this, which is, so this, I think it's the hypothalamus, which is the crown chakra. Then you have your pineal gland, which is your third eye chakra. You have your thyroid gland, which is your, what you call this, your throat chakra. Then you have a gland that sits on top of your heart. It's called your, you could say it's your heart chakra. Then we have a gland that sits on top of your diaphragm. That is the, not the sacral chakra. It's the solar plexus chakra. And then we have the two kidneys, right? The adrenal glands that sit on top of your kidneys. That is your sacral chakra. And then we have your, what you call this, the prostate. And I guess for women it would be, I think it would be the bulbs. Right? But that would be the root chakra. That basically would be the root chakra. Okay? Now, for women, if I can map this out properly for you guys, if you will allow me the time to map this out for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to do this. So this is the crown. This is third eye. Throat. Heart. And then you would have solar plexus. Have your sacral. And you have your root chakra. Right. Okay. Female orgasm starts in the heart. I'll say that again. Good evening, Kiamo. Female orgasm starts in the heart. And then it expands. And so, let me put this like this. I wonder if I want to hide. Yeah, right. So female orgasm starts in the heart, and then it expands to the other chakras, right? Now, I've been thinking about why it starts in the heart, but there's this thing that I learned, which, and you guys can correct me, but women feel all of their emotions in their heart. All of their emotions. I guess that's why women like to say, you hurt my what? Feelings. Plural. You hurt my feelings, not feeling. You hurt my feelings, because women feel everything through the heart. Feel all of the emotions in the heart. So your orgasms starts in the heart, right? This is why building familiarity, switching the nervous system, coming with the touch, the energy. This is all to open up the heart. Because this is where orgasms start. And this is why women, you guys know, when you meet up with someone, it's like it's gonna be just a sneaky thing. It's just gonna be a sneaky one. And then you meet up and they put it on you, right? They do all the right things and they put it on. You guys will say scary shit. You guys will say the scariest of shit. Like, I need to kill you. I might have to kill you. Or to other. Like, you might even just ghost a nigga with good dick and then come back after a week or two, or when you're ovulating again. Because why? Busted open that heart and we expanded the energy outward, right? So this in itself is to let you know, guys, that the foreplay is far bigger than having to touch and what. It starts with that whole thing of what? Creating containment. Goes back to that thing, creating containment. You need to be creating containment for her. What? For her to what? To open up her heart to you. You feel. This is why when women are younger, the nigga that stresses them out is usually the nigga that she's like crazy about, because that nigga is doing what? It's making her feel shit, and everything that she feels is in their heart. They feel everything in their heart. Like, she might be talking to two guys. One of them might be good for her nervous system. The other one might be bad for her nervous system. But because the other one is safe, and then it's not ringing an alarm, it's not really making her feel strong emotions. But the one that's stressing her out is making her feel strong emotions. Then she misinterprets that as love. It happens, I feel like, because they feel everything to the heart. I could be speaking bullshit. Tell me if I'm wrong, but this changes the dynamic. So when I say the orgasm starts from the heart, that automatically lets you know that you gotta bust her heart open, bruh. On top. And she's open, especially when she's interested in you. She's open to allowing you on top to rip through that heart. I'd even say eager on top. So manage okay, cool. All right. So the orgasm starts in the heart, and as you start to have more and more orgasms, energy starts to build up in the heart chakra, and once you've built up enough energy, the energy needs to break off, so that you don't blow a fuse. The energy needs to break off, so it goes to the what? To the throat chakra, and also the and also the solar plexus chakra. And now I want you guys to look at to look at your chakras, what they represent, what emotions they hold. Basically, just do some research on chakras. And I want you to understand that now that you have energy, orgasmic energy flowing to your throat chakra and your sacral chakra, right? That changes your alchemy, your internal alchemy. So after like 10 orgasms, that's when I start seeing women become more vocal, using their voice more, throat chakra activation, using their voice more to express themselves. Okay, no, I don't like it like this, I don't like it like that. How many of you women keep yourself from saying, okay, no, when I ask the question, okay, what would be the standard? What would be the standard pay for a nigga before a how many orgasms would you require for a man to, before you allow a man to come between your thighs? What's the number? A lot of you couldn't put that down. You couldn't put that down. Expressing a need, recognizing that is a need that should be met. You see, this is why this work is so important. So when you start having multiple orgasms as a woman, and you start connecting to these other when you start connecting and feeding energy to these other channels of energy or wheels of energy, you start to change fundamentally. This is why these ladies keep coming back, especially women, because most of my clients are lawyers, right? And these are people that need to be able to properly conversate or properly express themselves. And they need to tap into a different form of creativity, right? For whatever law that they're practicing, right? So it is so important for women to be able to have high level orgasms, hence the yoni conditioning session, hence the what you call this, the sensual massage session is so important. Hence, creating containment. Even as a man, you need to learn how to do these things. What I do to these women, you can do for your hand if you just took the time to learn. Everything is on Patreon. So, yeah. So do your own research. Like I said, to sum it up, as far as because we're summing up the whole climax. Né? Women can experience multiple orgasms. In fact, women's orgasm start from the heart and builds out energy, and then I want to show you this, and basically this. Now, doesn't this look like a field to you, right? Let me see. Nikhulume ngemali. Sure, brother man ofuna ukuthi sikhulume ngemali. Sec, first and foremost. Secondly, like there's other channels and people that talk about money. So please, man. Lolo basibona mfethu. Lolo basibona. Akukachelete them. There's other places and people that talk about money. In any case, we have the 7 chakras, and once you're able to start opening up and connecting to your other systems, you are able to tap into your full potential as a woman. Gents also the same thing, but for the gents, it kind of works differently. The wiring is different for the gents as it is, as opposed to what it is for the women. So yeah, ladies, as far as the climax is concerned, please make sure. So let's get into it. Now, bringing women to climax is somewhat easy, man. Like, once you have it aroused. So these 2 stages, the stimulation and the containment, is for arousal, for maximum arousal. And it's through maximum arousal and also just giving her a couple of climaxes, then a woman is fully ready to either receive through the vagina. But also at the same time, I need to also re-emphasize that the clitoris really is the shit. It is the be-all and end-all. The pleasure that most women feel through the vagina is literally just the clitoris being stimulated. Stimulating the G-spot is literally stimulating the back of the clitoris. So the clitoris is the be-all, right? And if you know the structure of the clitoris, I need you guys to go look up the structure of the clitoris. It'll change your mind on how you approach it. So I knew I should have gotten something. Let me get an orange. Hold on. Let me get an orange. Whoo. My nigga. I'm not easy, man. This. Okay, alright, I'm back. Okay, so we are definitely going to need this, right? We're going to need the orange. And then, so we've spoken about stimulating the body, the female body. Now let's talk about the yoni, right? The yoni, we are referring to the clitoris, the lips, and the vagina. This is the yoni. The clitoris has the yoni has, or the lips, you have the outer lips and the inner lips, right? And with the clitoris, what it does is that it extends to the side of the vagina opening. It has bulbs and it also has legs. I think they're called cura. And then you have the little head that's showing, right? You have the little head that's showing, or it might be hooded. You can pull back. So apparently the head is supposed to look like a mushroom head. So if you can't see the full head as a mushroom head, you might have to, because it's just a test. If no job, if you don't clean it, it'll build up dirt, gunk, and things will stick. So I think there is a procedure for you to undo that. That way you will, and then I think it's like women that have done that report that they have improved their sensation by 60%, right? So that's something to look into as women. I think a lot of African women, because it's not something that's really practiced, especially if I don't know about in Makaya, if that is a part of the practice. But yeah, the more exposed your what you call this, your clitoral gland is, the more exposed your clitoral gland is, the better sensation that you'll get. The more sensation you get, the easier it is for you to reach climaxes and orgasms and all that stuff. So we have it here. I got two cameras here. So the clitoris, we have the lips, the vaginal opening, and you have to work with that. So if your clitoris is basically like this, and then what does that tell you, right? Most women will just work here, right? Most women will just work here, but you can also stimulate this, right? You can also stimulate this. That's why the full hand technique for me is like the best, because I literally get to stimulate the whole vagina with the vagina, or the whole yoni with the vaginal, opening, and it does a pretty great job. So you can do that with your hands. You also have toys that you can use, right? Now, I'll also say this. There's this technique called kunyaza, right? Kunyaza is basically taking your tolosi and tapping around the clitoris in a rhythmic way, and it has to be rhythmic. It does amazing stuff. Try it out with your partner. Okay. Let me see. What else? What is in here? Okay. The oil limona. And then, yeah. And then toys like this, which, can be used to, oh yeah, feels nice. So basically we're, on this, amazing work it does. So try it out. Don't just keep yourself to the monotony of just using your hands or just using your lips. We have other devices out here. We have different techniques out here. So explore. Don't limit yourself, especially the ladies, because this here is not really about for the gents. Like the gents, yes, come and learn, gents, and put in the practice. But this is more important for women than it is for men. It's more important because you need to own your own orgasm. ladies. You need to really own your own orgasm. So yeah, with that said, what else do we have? We have integration, which is soothing. So you could call this cuddling, right? Um, After a long match, you've been running around, playing soccer, whatever sport that you be playing. You need to come back, sit down after the match. You need to stretch out. You need to stretch yourself out, relax your body, relax your muscles, right? This is you soothing yourself after rigorous action, right? And so this also has to happen after the off or after sex. You need to soothe yourself. So whether it's cuddling, whether it's laying next to each other, just having that feeling of comfort and having that feeling of being contained. You see, it's going back to containment because this is cyclical. There is no end to it. Once it starts, it's continual. And what usually happens with couples is that they will get stuck somewhere. It might be here in the containment where they get stuck, or they might get stuck with the stimulation because someone is getting lazy, and which means that it might not be, they probably won't be able to reach climax. And with no climaxes, then we probably won't have any time for integration. So this is a cycle, right? And for any couple that seemingly is having issues, you need to find yourself on this cycle. Where exactly are you guys getting stuck? And then start to move the energy and you'll become unstuck, hopefully. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Understanding female pleasure. Tandy. So Tandy, you definitely can. You definitely can. So I'm gonna post this whole session on YouTube on Sunday. I'm gonna post it on YouTube on Sunday, so you can check it out with your partner. 100%. Just sit down with them, go through it, and hopefully they grow a shop. Any questions? Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Sesivalile. Let me see. Why on why on a Sunday? Cause to be honest, like I got a couple things that I need to do. I need to edit it. I need to put it through editing. I need to put out some clips from it. So there's literally work that I need to do on the actual footage before I put it onto YouTube. So because I want to put quality on YouTube, yeah, that's why I have a second phone that I'm recording from, and yeah, so that's why. Let me see. Harvest ascension, energy, ascension. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I remember you. I can't even see your picture. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, let me know. But if you guys are like, no, Sikrandy, this is really, we've learned whatever we need to learn, we good. Type in a one. You know what you do, Anne? So if you're looking for my YouTube channel, go to Google and type in Diale Health and Sex Coach. Type in Diale Health and Sex Coach on Google. The first thing that should pop up is my YouTube channel. That should be the first thing that pops up. Or you can even search it on YouTube itself. Diale Health and Sex Coach. Yeah. Oh, guys, now. Ndingufonela umuntu wami. Ngibona kusasa. What's today? Today is Wednesday. Yeah, today is Wednesday. So yeah, I need to sleep, have enough energy. Yeah. Because there's things that I need to do to this lady. There's things that I need to do to this lady tomorrow. Yeah. If you guys were the flies in my room, you would never leave. You would never leave, especially when. Okay, so everyone's saying they're fine. Everyone's saying they're fine. Okay. I hold round of afraid to then I think we can call it. I think we can call it a day. Celeste. We met last year in Pretoria. Okay, let me not say anything. Okay, people that I've met in Pretoria. People that I've met in Pretoria. Okay, that's a whole board. I don't recall. But I appreciate that, man. I really do appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. So nobody has questions, but oh yeah, Celeste. You know what? Being good in bed is like we need to learn our bodies. Women need to learn their bodies. Men need to learn their own bodies and also learn the female body. And women also need to learn the male body. Once you have an understanding of the body and how it works, not just the physical body, not just the physical body, but understanding that you have an energy body, you have a spirit body, and you have a quantum body. And how I feel like because with like relationships, or even if you're trying to be a sneaky link or anything like that, like personally, I don't know about anyone else. Personally, I go into that type of situation and I'm like, okay, because I said I wanted to be a sneaky link, meaning I just wanted to engage in a very sexual relationship with this person, then I need to make sure that I'm bringing the heat. I'm bringing the heat. I'm making sure for Omnadi. Because for Nadi, it doesn't take a lot. For Nadi, it doesn't really take a lot. I wonder if I'm going to be sliding in and that coochie is on fire, on toilet, like, it doesn't take a lot. I want stroke more since it getting Nadi. But I need to make sure before that even happens, when I overshout. Even with the strokes, I need to deliver. So if that's okay, like I said, if the pleasure that women feel mainly originates from the clitoris, even through vaginal penetration, what does that mean? That means if we just need to go this far, go this far and just stimulate the clitoris from behind, just doing this, that basically just stimulating the clitoris. If I slide in and I use this motion where I go in, I drop my hips, I pull out. I go in, I drop my hips, I pull out. Now I'm stimulating the G spot with my dick. You see, because I know the body. Because I know the body. I'm not guessing. It's precision. It's precision. Mahabata. I know you. Now the name is clicking. Now the name is clicking, man. Now the name is clicking. The whole board. I remember now. We won't mention where, but in Pitur, somewhere in Pitur. But yeah, seemingly everyone is satisfied with the presentation. If you missed the presentation, it will be on YouTube on Sunday. So yeah, guys and girls, please have a good night. Stay warm. It's still winter. Temperatures can drop at any given second. Make sure y'all stay warm. What else? Make sure that you're breathing. Make sure that you're eating right, getting enough sleep. And ladies, explore your bodies to no end. And if you need help with exploring your orgasmic abilities, send me a DM, ladies, and let's book a session. Love y'all. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I don't know when, but I'll see you in the next one. Mm-hmm. Hey, DNA, man.